this wonderful day? Oh, that's so good. I'm doing amazing today. Thank you so much for asking. Today, we're going to read a story that tells us how words have power and how important it is for us to speak words that uplift us and build us up, and to not pay attention to those thoughts or those ideas that tear us down and make us feel bad about ourselves. I'm Mrs. T, and this is Goldie, and we're here to read you a wonderful story today. Let's take a look at Goldie and see if you can tell what character she is. She looks amazing. She looks like she's ready to go to the Golden Globes or something. She's got this beautiful dress. It's got that side shoulder. She's got a beautiful belt. Oh, and look at this. She's got two cute little blue ponytails right there on the top. Who do you think she is? I don't know. That's a good guess. Let's take a look at today's story, and maybe that will give us some clues. Our story today is called Land of I Am, and it's by Katie Mullaly and Toby Allen. If you look at the cover here, you can see that there's a guide, and then there's the main character. And Goldie is dressed just like that main character, don't you think? It's a pretty good representation. Let's jump into our story. As I'm getting ready to turn the page here, let's talk about words that have power. Do you do any affirmation statements with yourself where you say, I am, and then you say something at the end of that describes it and uplifts you and builds you up? That's good if you do. And if you don't, today is a good time to start. So let's do some right now, okay? Get your wiggles out, okay? Center your body. Put your hands in your lap or on your knees if that's what makes you feel better. Take a deep breath. Ready? Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Okay, repeat after me. I am smart. Good. I am brave. I am kind. And I am awesome. Good job. You are all of those things. And those words have power. So be sure to tell yourself those things every single day. We'll do it again at the end of the book so that you can have some good practice and it can stick in your brain. Because as you do things over and over, we build those neural pathways and we make ourselves so smart. Our title page here says Land of I Am. And again, remember, I got to meet this author and she signed these books for me. And this one says, to Tasha. And then she signed her name. That is my first name. That's why we go by Mrs. T, because the T is for Tasha. Do you have any books that are signed by the author? It's very exciting when you get to meet such a smart person who could put together a book and illustrate it and do all those things. Katie Mullaly was there. I did not get to meet Toby Allen, but maybe one day I can meet him. Let's jump into our story. Are you looking for someone? Are you lost and confused about which way to go, which reflection to use? You're in Land of I Am, a bewildering maze with distorted false mirrors to capture your gaze. But aren't all these images real that I see? Don't they show who I am, who I must really be? Yes, each one is a version of you, but beware, because most of them show you what's not really there. What you see in these mirrors and here isn't true. All these wonky I Ams, they are not the real you. Just like every thought that you have in your head, is it real? No, it's not. It's just a thought. And some of them we think and we let go. So where do they come from and how can I find the image that's real, the I Ams that are mine? Well, when you say I am with the words that come next, you create these reflections and all their effects. Let's find our way out of this maze to discover new I Ams to use, the real you to uncover. That's why it's so important. Words have power. We need to speak and build ourselves up and build others up with our words. We must navigate through these first tight winding sections where we have to get past someone else's reflections. The mirrors seen here that affect how you feel have been built by another, so no, they're not real. You'll learn that these pictures are only expressions of someone else's internal perceptions. See, a mangled display might be trying to hide their own self-doubt and how they feel inside. Sometimes how people speak about you or treat you has more to do with how they feel about themselves, and they're just not ready to admit it. Yeah, but this image, it has to be fact. I see it right here, so it must be exact. Oh dear, it has found us, that rascally pest who warps all the mirrors we'll find on our quest. Beware of the yabbit whose only ambition is to make you accept what you see. That's its mission. When you spot a warped image you want to believe, just know it's the yabbit who tries to deceive. Do you remember that we saw the yabbit in another book? Do you remember what book that was? Good guess. You might have to go back and watch that one again to find it. And in here you will find that it's hard to resist looking into these mirrors, but don't. I insist. Because they reflect judgments that come from afar when somebody tells you who they think you are. Yes, it's tempting to let your self-worth be defined by approval from others, but pay them no mind. Don't let someone else affect your self-esteem. Only you should decide the I ams that are seen. Plus, what others are thinking is not your concern. It's your own thoughts that count. This is what you must learn. Glancing at these false mirrors is never required. Let's continue ahead to I ams you desire. The mirrors in this passage that now appear are hard to get past because you put them here. You've built them based on your own false conclusions about who you are, but please know they're illusions. An illusion is something that's not real. What you think of yourself, the I ams that you say, shape these bogus reflections we see on the way. The good news is this: these impressions are wrong. Your thoughts have distorted these views all along. Sometimes we get kind of in a funky mood, and maybe we make a choice to behave in a way that we don't normally behave, that wasn't very kind, or maybe we were rude to someone. And then we have a very hard time holding on to that, and we start to kind of believe, oh, I'm rude, or I'm mean, or I'm bad. And that is not true. We are going to mess up. We are going to kind of make some choices that aren't great. We're human beings. It happens. Mistakes happen. But the beautiful thing about mistakes is we can repair them by offering an apology to someone and telling them, hey, I'm so sorry I acted this way. Next time, here's what I'm going to do. And say, maybe next time I get frustrated, I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to take some deep breaths. And maybe I'm not going to say what comes to mind right away. So it doesn't mean that you're a bad person if you make a poor choice. It just means that it shows you have an area to grow in, and that's okay. Let's see. Yeah, but these mirrors cannot be adjusted. These I ams must be real. What I see should be trusted. Oh, these lousy beliefs that can form in your head. They create these bad views. Let's find good ones instead. To do this, we must discuss how you think. It's your thoughts creating these. Yes, there's a link. Like we said, sometimes you can have behavior that's not great and it's very poor. It doesn't mean that's who you are. It means that you got to take a minute and be like, oh man, that was not a great choice. Next time I'm going to do this, I'm a good person. I can grow. I can be smart. I can be brave. When you think good I ams, your perspective will change. And then what appears is no longer deranged. So as we travel on, know that you have a choice to create new I ams from your deep inner voice. If you hear what it says, this view will be corrected, because the best you inside wants to now be reflected. As you listen, you'll learn that these mirrors are fake, and I'll guide you on out on a new path to take. I love how in those illustrations, the reflections started kind of grumpy and then they turned into very happy ones. Did you notice that? Let's see what you notice on this one. This part of the maze leads us to a dead end, because the I ams in here, well, they're only pretend. Here you're someone you're not, and you've put on a show just to join with the crowd, but here's what you must know. When you try to conform so that you can fit in, all the images start to divide. You can't win. Yeah, but I'm different. I want to belong and be like the others, so why is that wrong? If you aren't being you and you're some other one, then you aren't authentic, and that is no fun. Your genuine self lies beyond these old halls, outside of this maze, past these angled glass walls. Now these mirrors are warped since you chose to decide that you aren't as good as another's outside. You've matched someone else's I ams to your own, and this causes these crooked displays to be shown. But listen, my friend, when you try to compare who you are to others, you'll only despair. You should only match up with your internal best, only who you can be, and forget all the rest. You will never feel equal while stuck in this place. So let's move on out to a much better space. You are your own unique individual, and you do not have to be like other people. So long as you have those good qualities of being kind, you've got it. You see how this image is broken and altered? It's from all of the times that you tried, but you faltered. This I am formed when you didn't succeed, so you think you're a failure. Oh, how it misleads. But here's something to help you get past it, sweet kid. Please concentrate just on the fact that you did. When the I am reflects that you actually tried, then the act of attempting will fill you with pride. So look in this mirror and know it's deformed, because you gave it your all and you truly performed. That's something that I struggled with even as an adult. I have a very hard time trying something new and not succeeding at it. It makes me feel like I'm not good enough. And I've had to talk to myself and help myself understand that I'm not supposed to get it right the first time, because I don't know what I'm doing. That I'm supposed to mess up and I'm supposed to make a mistake so that I can learn from it. And then the next time I can be like, oh, last time this happened and it didn't work out. Let me try something different. So that's important for us to remember, everybody, adults and kids. Watch out for these mirrors and don't be dismayed, because at first only your flaws are displayed. These reflections will tell you that you're not enough, but look really hard, you'll find wonderful stuff. Yeah, but this image I see here reveals that I'm squatty and bent, very far from ideal. For some unknown reasons, I do not know why. We only see flaws as we go passing by. Yes, it's easy to stay with the negative thought, but let's focus instead on the great things you've got. And once you begin to search just for what's right, the best parts of you will then come into sight. Oh, it's important to highlight those good parts of ourselves, whether they are our behavior or something physical. We got to focus on what's good in life and with ourselves. Here's the way out. We have made it on through to the truest I am. We have found the real you. What you see here now is your honest reflection. It's perfect as is. See, it needs no correction. This mirror is yours now to keep close at hand, so look to it often. Remember this land. If your mirror starts to deform or to bend, make sure your I ams are still good, my dear friend. because these 2 words can be highly effective. They shape what you see, so be very selective. Choose only I ams that you truly deserve, so that they can become what the world will observe. The end. Okay, words have so much power. And I want you to use your words to build yourself up and to build other people up. But first, you got to start with yourself. Okay, so let's wiggle our bodies so we're nice and stable. Put our hands in our lap or on our knees. Let's take a deep breath and blow it out. And repeat after me. I am smart. I am brave. I am kind. I am awesome. Good job. You are all of those things, and so are other people. And so as you go throughout your day, you can take an opportunity. If you know somebody and you see them being friendly or kind to another person, you can tell them, you are so kind. I love that about you. And it will just make their heart feel so, so good. Because think about it. How would you feel if somebody told that to you? It would make you very happy. You can find some resources for this book, your adults can, at yourinneratlas.com. Katie Mullaly and Toby Allen are amazing, and they have put together some resources for you to pull from to supplement and add to what we learned today. I cannot wait to see you for our next reading adventure, and I hope that you do well and continue your affirmations. And I love you. I'll see you next time. Bye.